and welcome back to the Sunday special of the U Up podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It's so good to be back here with you, Jordana. We love a Sunday special. Small, bite-sized episodes, great for sharing with friends. We have the text messages.
Love when we have the raw materials, as I like to say.
The raw materials. I like that. Yeah.
Yes.
It is.
Did you ever do a DBQ?
What's a DBQ?
It's a document-based question. It was like a test that we took. Maybe it was New York.
This feels very corporate.
It was New York-based like high school or like middle school test that you had to take.
Okay.
Where they'd give you like the raw materials of some historical thing. Like here's the actual Constitution, or here's like the actual letter from this farmer to this person, and then you had to like interpret the stuff based on the raw materials. I feel like that's what we do here. It's
like reading comprehension,
yes,
so to speak.
Kind of that.
Yeah. I don't know.
But instead of reading a textbook, you'd read like the actual material, raw material.
I think I'd be okay with it because I comprehended the explanation you gave.
Yeah. Probably wasn't even a good explanation. Very bad. That's why it's so funny. Some people love like the idea of like being a teacher or a professor. I'm like, I cannot explain anything to anyone ever.
Teacher, professor, I wouldn't want it.
Wouldn't work well with me.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah. I'd be like, ugh, you don't get it? Fine.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Just get it. Yeah, or don't. Whatever. Yes.
You didn't do the homework, you fucking idiot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why we don't have a U Up University yet.
Not yet. But you know what we do have? The U Up podcast is on YouTube. Hi, YouTube land. And you can go to betches.co/YouTube and it'll take you right to the page, the home page for the U Up podcast. So you hit subscribe. That's right. That's your masterclass.
Yes.
You get to hang with J&J live on YouTube every Wednesday and Sunday. So the beauty of it is you get to see us. We're animated.
Yeah.
We are moving hands and shit.
Exactly. Jared's making a lot of faces. I'm making fewer faces, but
right.
Still more than none that you hear on audio.
Right. It's like you sit in the room with us.
Yes.
That's how nice it is. So, but we want you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. If we get to 10K, we're doing some dating app profile makeovers.
Yeah, and we're getting there. We're inching closer to that 10K milestone.
Every day we get closer.
Yes.
So, anything going on with you, Jordana?
What's going on with me? I've got oversharing. Right now we're in what day? What day does this come out?
October 9th. Good old October 9th.
We're in the thick of it.
The leaves have changed.
Yes.
You got your hoodie sweaters out.
The U Up haunted house is just right around the corner.
I'm sitting there with the wooden hammer and nails,
right.
Just getting it ready.
The ghosts are coming out.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
It's it's ghosting season.
Is it ghosting season? I guess probably because you're less likely to see someone that you've ghosted out and about.
Well, I guess the reason it's called ghosting is you are being haunted by this person that isn't really there.
Never gave you any closure. They're
right.
between worlds.
Right.
Yes.
And you can see them when they show up on your Instagram stories or they show up watching, liking your stuff, but they're not there. You can't really hug them.
Yeah.
You can't really touch them, but they're out there. So I would say the ghosting season is here because it's a lot of summertime things that just didn't work out, the fizzlers.
I agree. And I don't know. I guess it's going to be an interesting time to get through that weirdness. How do you I recommend blocking. Anyone who you're like, this doesn't feel good when I see this person's
right.
When I reminded of this person's existence, just block them.
Marie Kondo.
There's a thing for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't give you pleasure.
Exactly. What do you have coming up?
Oh, I got shows in different area codes.
You do.
Area codes. Shows.
It's the show song.
Shows. Milwaukee, Mohegan Sun, Baltimore, Richmond, Boston. Second show added. Miami. I'm going to Miami. Benvenido a Miami. I'm going to be there Thanksgiving weekend. And then New York City. We're taping a special. I'm getting
It's going to be amazing.
ready
to go.
Co-produced with Betches.
It's going to be
So
such a good
excited.
show. I'm sure if it's been on sale, I'm sure it's already sold out by now.
I hope to the gods above.
I'm so excited. I'll be there front row with
That's
a video
right.
camera like Amy Poehler and Mean Girls. Very
wait.
excited. Are your actual parents going to come? Your real parents?
My real folks?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably. I'd like to have them come.
That'd be fun. I haven't seen your parents in a while.
My mom actually said to me, tell Jordana, she calls you.
I
Jordana.
get that a lot. Yeah.
Tell Jordana I said hi.
Okay.
That was
Well,
she really does
tell
think
Kim I
about you
say
a
hi.
lot. I'll let her know.
Really?
Yeah, she asked about
The
you
one-
more than a lot of people. She asked about you a lot.
Wow.
Anytime I go and do a show on the road, I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to Buffalo. I'm going to, or the city that shall not be said. I'm going to Albany. And she'll be like, is Jordana going? And
Oh,
I'm like, this
wow.
isn't a you uptown. This
Yeah.
is a
Personal
stand up.
town, yeah.
And
Well, tell Kim I say hi.
I'll let her know. I'll play her this clip.
And I hope we're seated next to each other when
Right.
she comes to the special.
Perfect. You guys can
We're
talk
due
the
for a
whole
catch
show.
up. Yes.
That's what I want. Yeah, it is very funny because we have she is the worst. Is it like this with your mom? She is the worst at hanging up.
She's the worst. What? Yes. What?
Well, I'll be like, okay, I gotta go. And she'll
Oh,
go,
yeah.
and then we'll have our second half of the conversation.
But wait, what about
Right.
Yeah.
It's only
Or
when
they
I gotta
just don't
go.
they don't even listen. They're not even
No.
they're not even taking that, like, it's as if you never said it.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, I gotta go. So tomorrow, like, what? Okay, I gotta go. Okay, then my mom will go, okay, goodbye. I love you. And waiting.
Right.
Yeah.
I said I love you.
Right. Love you too. I gotta go.
Love you too.
Hang on. Is Jordana doing okay? And I'm like, okay. Goodbye.
I totally feel that. Let's get into today's email. It's
Let's
a good
do
one.
it. You want me to read it?
Yeah. Why don't you read it?
Should I reach out again if the timing wasn't right before?
The age-old question.
Old timing. J&J just started listening to y'all's podcast last year, and I'm a huge fan. Jared, my brother and his fiance saw you in Denver at my urging and said you had them cackling.
Wow. Love to hear that.
Cackle City. I think I have kind of a deal reveal, more of a please tell me what to do. I met a guy on the apps about a year ago. We went on a couple of dates and I had a great time. After our second date, he sent me the following text. Okay.
It's a long-ass text.
I'll be him. This is
Okay.
a full iPhone long.
And it's also, I do think there's something nice. This guy has broken the text into multiple paragraphs.
Yeah, this guy put a lot of, it feels like there was care given.
It seems like he wrote it on like a Word document and then pasted it from there onto the text.
You may be right. Okay, he writes, hey, I really hate to do this because you're so cool, but I owe you full honesty and transparency. I don't think we should go out anymore with me moving in a month. To be honest, you're one of the most amazing people I've met since moving here, but the reality still stands that I'm moving in a few weeks. I don't want to delay the inevitable and make this worse. You deserve someone present, authentic, vulnerable, and 1,000% your own.
After 2 dates, this guy
This guy.
is making a statement.
I mean, my God, I hate doing this over text, and I'd like to stay friends, but I understand if you think that's a ridiculous idea. I just had to get it off my chest today. Thank you for caring about my life so much. To ask all the deep questions. Not many people do that, so it caught me off guard. And for some reason, I feel so comfortable around you that I can open up like I do with others.
With few others.
With few others, where I can open up like that, like I do with few others. I feel like you got to know me a hell of a lot better than the few things I learned about you. And you miraculously remembered stuff that I barely remember telling you about. If you're in Nashville, I'd love to catch up over a beer and tell you all the craziness updates with my shit show of a family. Oh, she gets to hear more about him. Seems like she listened a lot. Thank you for not turning that into an opportunity to rant about me, by the way. But listen, by the way, you're really good at that.
You're really good at listening to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to hear more about me. If you want to hear more about me.
Next time you're visiting.
Me.
Yeah.
I think I'm being scatterbrained, and for that I sincerely apologize. You're awesome, and I wasted your time. He's really getting ahead of himself. But I'm glad we met and wish you nothing but the best moving forward.
It's funny that he's wrote, I think I'm being scatterbrained, but it's all in the same message. So if he really thought he was being scatterbrained, he probably could have edited it. It's not like they're one text after the other.
Right.
But anyway, I don't know if that matters as much. Then she says, wow, I really appreciate the honesty and kind words. To be honest, I knew this was inevitable, but after getting to know you, I was probably crazily hoping this could work. But I totally understand if that's not something you're looking for. Please don't ever think you wasted my time. I had so much fun getting to know you and going out with you. You are so, and then it cuts off and she didn't include the rest.
Okay, so I'll read the rest of the message. Before I do, we're on YouTube. We're taping everything. I just picked my nose, and I am so self-conscious about it now. I literally
Well,
was
now we
like-
have to keep that in.
Well, I guess we got to keep it in.
Otherwise, they could have just panned to me. But now
Right,
it's
but
a thing.
I don't know. But I don't know if everything's on you all the time. You used to be able to come in this. I could come in here, shit my pants for all I care.
I'm sorry. Jorge, are you on nose picking duty?
Did you see it?
If Jordana is speaking, the camera will be on her.
It will be.
Yeah.
I wish I had known. I picked my nose during you
now,
talking.
the jig is out. The jig
Right.
is up.
Like now, it's like if you start start talking.
I'm talking right now. Okay.
Like
on
it's gonna
me.
come back to me.
I mean, he has the footage. He's probably just will
Finger.
choose not to use it. But now that we've had that discussion,
Yeah,
I
right.
feel like that should get
You gotta
people to
keep
the
it-
YouTube page.
Right. You're gonna see me like do it, realize it. You're gonna see me pick my nose, then realize shit, I'm on fucking camera. Hold on to the bug in the finger. I still have the
it.
bug.
Don't put it under the podcast table.
No.
That's
I was
rude.
gonna flick it
Okay.
respectfully, but now I can't even do that. I'm gonna put
it
it
in your
on my
pocket.
own yellow slice of paper.
In case you were unsure if Jared wasn't disgusting.
Right. Here's the bug. I just want to zoom in. Come on. We're living in the land of honesty. I just
Okay.
want to make sure
I'm
bug has been seen.
Noted.
Okay. You can see my nice
It's small.
handwriting.
Did you curl it up into a ball?
That's how you do it.
Okay.
How do you
And
pick your
that's
nose?
the way the cookie crumbles. Well,
Well, it's like everything's on camera. You can't. We've been taping for 8 hours. You know, I gotta pick my nose.
And if
okay,
that
I pick my nose.
if that doesn't get us a subscriber,
I mean,
I don't know what will. You really want?
embarrassing myself every
zoom
day.
In. It's the
We
it's the
zoomed.
evidence,
We got the
yes.
bug. It was a small one. I am a nose scratcher, but sometimes it turns into a pick.
Yeah,
if, you
I
know.
mean we've all been there. You know, some more frequently than others. Clearly,
Hold on. Like Adam Levine, I care about two things in my life:
what are they?
my
Your
family and a clean nose breath way.
That's for you, the listeners. You had
That's
to
right.
clear it out so he wouldn't sound nasally.
I just wanted to be good for you. Okay, so let's move on.
Let's now that we've gotten
Now that we've gotten
out,
that
out of
out
our
there.
systems.
I couldn't have what I kept going through my mind is that someone would take the screenshot and then send it to me, and
Well,
I'd be
now
like,
you
I
know.
would go in my head. I go, I'm going to act like I don't remember this. I
You would have gotten away with it if not.
would have
for-
gotten away with it if it weren't for you kids, you snot nosed kid. Well, I'm the snot nose.
Well, yeah. Now,
Okay.
I mean, I think you've outed yourself.
Right, I
clearly at
had
this
to.
point.
I had
yeah.
to.
I mean, I appreciate the self-awareness. I didn't even notice. I was probably reading. I didn't.
You were reading. Oh, I didn't know the camera wasn't even on me.
Yeah. Well, they got their money's worth for this free
Oh,
subscription.
Right. Okay. On to this lonely woman.
Lonely McLonestein.
Lowenstein. I knew he was moving, so this didn't really become as a surprise, but still sucked because I was starting to like him. Fast forward a year. I'm a travel nurse who was offered an assignment near my mom's house, close to where he moved. I think I got the rest of the text in the second screenshot, but it says if I'm ever in town where he moved to reach out so we could grab a beer. My question is whether y'all think I should reach out once I accept the assignment. We haven't talked in a while, so I don't know if it's weird to reach out. I feel like kind of just something you'd say to be polite, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to get a beer with him. We're friends on social medias, And we've kept up very infrequently over text. I have been on a few dates over the past year, but nothing serious. From his socials, it doesn't seem like he's dating anyone. Thanks for doing the Lord's work. Hope y'all see this and can tell me to get out of my head or to move on. Love the dating trials of a traveling nurse. What do you think?
I feel like we get a lot of emails from travel nurses.
Right.
Right? This seems like got to be our second, third, maybe. We've gotten quite a few. The travel nurse dating scene must be its own separate thing.
Right. I think because what happens as a travel nurse, you can turn that switch off.
Okay.
You can
choose to stay where you are.
This has been great. I live here now.
Okay.
And we kind of like touched on this in the last episode of like, would you travel? Would you not?
Mm-hmm.
They're in this position. They're probably young. They're beautiful, whatever. You know, they're single.
We want to see the world.
Seeing the world, and then and they probably hear the story. And she stopped moving once she found the guy.
Right.
And again, what do you care? You know, you're moving on. If it doesn't work out in this city, maybe it'll be the next. You're like Bruce Banner in the Hulk. Well, moving town to town.
I wonder if that came up in their dates, because to me, I'm kind of like, I don't really. I guess the guy's argument makes sense, but it could also, if he wanted an excuse, that's a great one. I'm leaving.
Sure. And I don't know. You know, they only went on 2 dates, so he was getting ahead of it. He's like, I know I'm not going to have the headspace for a relationship.
Okay.
So he gets ahead of it by saying, "Hey, here's this long-winded note about really that I had a great time with you, and I'm not trying to like." Get 2 weeks from now and look like I'm like out of town. I think this was him getting ahead.
And I kind of, although again, it's very long-winded. I do think the excessive flattery of how much, he's saying he loved the date and it was so intimate and she was asking all the right questions and he felt so close to her. I do think that does make it feel less offensive.
Yeah. And that's what he's trying to do. His effort, his instincts is, I just don't want this person to think I hate them.
Right.
And
or think it's an excuse.
Right.
Even if it is.
But even if it is, and if you felt that, you have to think.
Yeah.
If you think for 10 minutes longer, you go, well, if this was so magical to you,
right?
Why not? Let's
Ask
give
me
this
to
a
move.
shot. Let's figure this out. Or you move and
let's visit each other. Yeah.
We have the best last 2 weeks of your life.
Right.
And then
we take it from there.
Right. But he almost, and this is a lot of guys do this. I do this. You go, I want to go to the next town with nobody.
Okay.
I want the adventure of the next town.
Which is possible. I get that.
I don't want to go with baggage.
Right. I don't want to go with a girlfriend that I just made behind. Now I have a long distance relationship.
Right. I'm going to college. I'm not going to freshman year.
Right.
Attached to my girlfriend who's still in high school.
Yeah.
Type of deal.
No, I get that.
So I see where he's coming from. But that also has nothing to do with her. Right. She accepted the breakup. Good luck. And she's still thinking about him. Again, like,
you think she should
absolutely.
Message him.
She should message him because, again, I do think dating in the beginning is about being selfish.
Okay.
You liked him. Forget about him.
Sure. Forget
about what he said. You have his number. You liked him. You want to see him again.
Mm-hmm.
But let's keep in mind, and I wrote this down. I don't want to lose my booger. Let's keep in mind the outcomes, the possible outcomes.
Yeah, that was going to be my suggestion, is like I would say rank the outcomes in terms of like worst to best, knowing that they're more and more likely the closer you get to worst.
Right. So I wrote them down.
Yes. Okay.
So let's say you get a beer. Marriage.
Let's say you text him, right? Doesn't answer. That's the worst.
That's the
scenario.
worst. Right. You're right.
Okay. We're thinking about the absolute worst.
Then
you text him. You ask him to do something. He says he doesn't give you a definitive. I'm saying we're doing worst.
Right.
He doesn't give you a definitive date, and he says maybe blah blah blah. You don't really get anything down on a time lockdown.
Right.
Then you're kind of not sure what to do with that.
Right. And I would consider that a no.
Right. I would consider that a no too. Then, okay, you make a plan, you go on the date. Then we get to what you thought was the worst case scenario, what I'm deeming the intermediate case
So
scenario.
getting a beer and having a good time with a friend.
Okay.
I don't even think that's that bad.
If she wants more,
Well, these are
Maybe.
the outcomes that could
Sure.
happen.
Okay.
What she wants, I
Yeah.
guess, is not important at this point.
okay.
She has to
She wants to
feel
date
those.
him,
But I'm
seems
saying
like,
she does.
yeah.
It does seem like that. But
Right.
she's like, right now, she's not even saying that. She's like, should I reach out? So
Okay.
like, of the scenarios, reach out, no answer. Reach out, no plan. Reach out, plan, but it's really just friends.
Okay.
Reach out, plan. It's a date. You hook up.
Okay. And that's
Nothing
it.
more.
And then that's it.
He says the same thing he said before. I'm not looking for anything serious. I just
Right.
moved here. You get the same dog and pony show.
Okay.
Meet up, have a beer, hook up. He says he wants to make a try.
Yeah. Wants to ask you out again.
Ask yet again, whatever.
Okay. Yeah. I
Um,
feel like he would more likely just ask you out instead of
right. Or, hey, let's do something tomorrow again.
Right, yeah.
You guys spend the whole weekend together, or all up until you go to the next place.
Just a great weekend together, full of you asking him more questions about his life.
Right. Full of him talking, you listening. And then there's, the romantic Cinderella story. You get the drink and this turns into a relationship and marriage
married,
and
yeah.
kids. And now you got the Our Story page.
Yes.
Well, we met and he was moving and then he moved to my town, or then I moved to the town and I said, let's get a beer. That's what it would become.
Does travel nurse mean that like she has to, how long is she staying?
We can look this up, but I think it's like 6-week rotations. It's
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah. I mean, here's our other question. She's saying once I accept the assignment, I would also just like not base your decision to go to the city on the possibility of this being a thing,
Right.
because I can imagine the idea of her doing that. And I
Mhm.
think that sets it up to be like a lot more important than it was mentally healthy.
Right. And
Like if she wants to go, and
yeah.
Nashville's like a normal,
Nashville's a
cool city, I think that's a great place to do this kind of thing.
great place.
But I would go in with the low expectations so that you're not like, you don't feel super bummed if it doesn't turn into this romantic story that you've put on this pedestal.
Right. I guess it goes, do I want to go to Nashville?
Right.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do that before you're like,
Uh,
should I go to Nashville because this guy is there?
Right. So if it's yes, you go to Nashville. You set up yourself where you're going to live, all that stuff.
Right.
Then it's a text. Hey, I know it's been a bit. Want to let you know I'm moving to Nashville on my next rotation. I'd love to get a beer. If you're up for it, totally understand if you're not. Make a plan and I'm down.
Yeah.
That's your text.
I agree.
And then makes a plan or not. And then I think the important part is like saying what you want. Like, and not holding yourself to this like, well, I'm leaving, on the next rotation. I'd like to get to know you.
Yeah.
I think you have to decide, do you want to get to
On
know
this
this
date,
person
yeah.
or not?
Yeah.
No, just like in general.
Oh, like
Because they've done 2
okay.
dates. They're not on
Right.
date 1.
Yeah.
And
Sounds like she does want to get to know them.
right.
Right.
She has to admit that.
Right. I think she kind of did. She said she's like, would it be weird to reach out because I got a beer?
But to him,
Oh, you're saying for him to decide.
or she needs to decide that.
Yeah.
For like to impart that to him. Hey, the beer can start at 2 people catching up.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a point where you start to decide, you go, is this a date or not?
Right. And then I think the other part of it is like, what do I want out of this interaction?
Right.
What's my goal? Am I okay with the goal ending with we meet up and we hook up and then that's kind of it? If that scenario happens, which is a possibility, is that going to be like, am I still going to feel like I had a good time?
Right. And if that's not a possibility, you have to admit that to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if you go back with him and hook up, it's the last you ever see him and he does the same dog and pony show that he did before.
Are you going to be okay with that?
Yeah. So
Right.
that means maybe you're not hooking up.
Yeah.
That could mean you're
Which
still
could
getting
mean
the
you could
beer.
still go and get the beer
Yeah.
and not hook up until you have a better sense of that. And only she knows herself well enough to know
Right.
how much that would affect her.
Exactly. And that's the hardest part about this whole thing is like you are playing emotional bumper cars with people. You're trying to figure, if you don't know who, most people don't know. That's
Right.
okay. But like that's the hardest part about this thing is like, you're like, I like this guy. He's probably like, I like you. And maybe seeing each other is what you need to go, oh, I don't want to be in a relationship. I'm
Right.
still checking out
Or,
this new
oh,
town.
this feels really good. Who
Right.
knows? Yeah. But again, I would not anticipate that. I think when you go in with the highest of anticipations,
Right.
you're putting a little too much pressure on it, especially if you're going there for this purpose.
We definitely gave her all the options that
Yes.
she didn't want to think about.
Exactly. well,
we-
just think about it. You don't have to
Right.
dwell on them.
No.
It shouldn't stop you from reaching out. But I just think, like, if you know what your goal is, then you can know what the things look like that don't feel like they're pointing towards the goal.
Right.
So if your goal is like, I want to date this person, and then they're, you're trying to do a hang like at their apartment date or something like that, and it seems like it's leaning towards more of a hookup thing, then you could say this doesn't seem like it's on the road towards my goal.
Right. I totally agree. Plus, you're going to Nashville.
Yeah.
Go to Broadway. There's plenty of new single women that show up there every week for bachelorette parties, and they're not drunk at all. They're looking to just have a quiet
Real
conversation.
And they could tell you about all of their family issues, their crazy dysfunctional families.
Right.
I'm sure you could
You're
find
good.
someone.
They need good listeners there. There's a lot of screamers.
And if it doesn't work out, there's a lot of sad country music bars you could cry at.
Plop yourself
Right?
into home on the range where the men don't know
Answer
what they
you.
want, where we move to a new town and we show a little frown and we're not sure if you should wear a wedding gown.
There we go.
Thank you.
Next time you're in Nashville, you should do one of those
That's right.
open
Oh,
Music-
I've done
music
some open
nights.
mics in my day.
an open music night.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll show. Oh,
Get
my
on
new
there with
hit.
your guitar, your country song.
My fake guitar.
Jared-
that I
Yeah,
strum
I
like
feel
this.
like Nashville's probably a great place to go through a breakup.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. There's people there.
Great spot. If I ever get broken up with again in my lifetime,
We're going to
I'm
Nashville.
going to Nashville. You're coming
I'll
with.
be there on the
Yeah. You'll be performing.
home. Yeah, I'll start singing on stage.
There we go. All right. Thank you guys.
Solved dating again.
We
We
solved
did it.
We did it. We solved dating again. And we will see you on Wednesday.
Boom.
Bye. The U Up podcast is produced by Sean Kilby, Maddie Paul, and Jorge Morales Pico. Editing by Jorge Morales Pico. Social media by Maddie Paul. Be sure to follow at u.up.podcast on Instagram and send us your emails to uup@betches.com.